Good afternoon and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Imam, come to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu celebrates Senator Ibrahim at 80, ex-First Lady Margaret Shonekan at 84. WAEC denies restricting subjects for 2026 WAEC candidates. In other news, Pope to pray at Beirut blast site during Lebanon-Turkey trip. We'll bring you the details of these stories and more in a moment. Thanks for joining us. We head now to the national scene where President Bola Tinubu has celebrated Senator Abu Ibrahim's 80th birthday, calling him a principled statesman, trusted ally and courageous Democrat. He also marked former First Lady Margaret Shonekan's 84th birthday, praising her grace and compassion. In a statement released today by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Byron Anuga, and shared via his social X handle, the president said Senator Ibrahim had been more than a friend, but a brother, recalling their decades-long bond that began in the Senate's chambers during the aborted Third Republic in 1992. The president praised Senator Ibrahim's steadfast commitment to democracy, progressive politics, and nation building, noting that his re-election to the Senate in 2003 and 2011 was a testament to his dedication to the people of Katsina South. He also commended the former lawmaker's role in resisting military dictatorship, recalling that after the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election, Ibrahim stood fearlessly for democracy. Meanwhile, dignitaries yesterday paid glowing tributes to the late veteran broadcaster and former Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Dr. Christopher Kolade, during a service of songs held in his honor. Recall that the elder statesman, aged 92, passed away on Wednesday, October the 8th, 2025. His family announced his death in a statement on Thursday, noting that he died peacefully. The service of songs which former national and serving and former public officials. Among those present were President Bola Tinubu, represented by his Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Chief Justice of Nigeria Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, former Minister of Science and Technology, presidential candidate Peter Obi, among others. In another development, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Ojo Omupitan, has pledged to work closely with the National Assembly to deliver a credible, fair and transparent electoral process for Nigeria, according to a statement by INEC on Monday. Professor Mopita made the commitment just held up on ongoing efforts to amend the Electoral Act. The INEC chairman said the commission would actively engage with lawmakers past elections and strengthen public confidence in the process. He emphasized that a well-structured legal framework is the Gawa State Governor Sule Lamido rejected the endorsement of Tani Motoraki aspirants for its 2025 elective national convention earlier scheduled today, citing unforeseen circumstances. The decision coming less than a month before the much-anticipated convention has raised concerns within the party and among political observers about possible internal challenges and the implications for the opposition's preparations. On matters of education, the West African Examinations Council has dismissed for the forthcoming 2026 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates. In a statement issued today by the acting head of public affairs, Moyosola Deshina, and signed on behalf of the head of national office, WAEC described the reports as unfounded assumption. Social media reports suggesting that schools had been directed to limit students' subjects combinations for the 2026 examination. WAEC reiterated that such claims were false and not issued by the council. We move now to Africa, where Cameroon's President Paul Biya, 92, has been re-elected for an 8th term with 53.7% of the votes. This is according to official results announced by the Constitutional Council on Monday. Rival candidate and former government minister Issa Chiroma Bakari came second with 35.2%. Chiroma against the incumbent 2 days after the October 12 election. Earlier, 4 people were killed in clashes between security forces and supporters of Cameroon opposition leader who claims to have won the recent presidential elections, authorities said ahead of the announcement of official results on Monday. Chiroma, who challenged President Paul Biya's forces to march peacefully on the eve of the announcement, because President Al-Hassan Ouattara has won a 4th term, securing a crushing 89.77% in the vote, which his 2 greatest rivals were barred from. Reports say nearly 9 million voters were eligible to cast their ballots Saturday in the world's top cocoa producer, which has resisted coups and jihadist attacks, tension soar and deadly violence in the run-up to the election, even before the polls. For help from the military to deal with a spate of truly deadly bear attacks, which have risen to record levels this year in Japan. Bears have killed 10 people this year, a government official confirmed to reporters, surpassing the previous high of 6 in the fiscal year that ended in March 2024. The animals have been in Suzuki. The governor of northern Akita Prefecture told Japan's defense minister that the lives of their citizens cannot be protected without the help of the self-defense forces. Suzuki said bears now appear not only in mountains but also in urban areas. Still on the foreign scene, Pope Leo will pray at the site of the devastating 2020 Beirut port explosion during an upcoming trip to Lebanon and Turkey on November 27 in Turkey, focused around events marking the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea. 700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea. A milestone meet Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and religious leaders, including the ecumenical patriarch Bartholomew, leader of the world's Orthodox Christians. Still to come in the news, Messi hints at playing in 2026. We'll stay tuned and now we bring you towards the end of the news this hour. In the world of business, address the worsening liquidity crisis in the Nigerian electricity supply industry as debts owed to them have risen to 6 trillion naira. The chairman of the Association of Power Generation Companies, APGC Board, the chairman of the Association of Power Generation Companies, APGC Board, Colonel Sani Bello retired, expressed concern that the mounting debt burden was severely constraining GenCo's operations. Speaking at the 10th anniversary of APGC in Abuja yesterday, the operators warned that the debt level had become unsustainable. Bello stated that despite these constraints, power generation companies have continued to make the necessary sacrifice and have kept the national grid running. Still in business, the Port and Terminal Multi-Services Limited (PTML) command of the Nigeria Customs Service generated 116.2 billion naira in revenue for the third quarter, 16.2 billion naira in revenue for the third quarter of 2025. Quarter 3 25 representing a 34.3% increase from the 86.5 billion naira recorded in the same period of 2024. Customs Area Controller of the Command, Controller Joe Anani, disclosed this in Lagos during the command's third quarter press briefing, 6 weeks after assuming office. Anani said the command had so far generated a total of 350.3 billion naira between January and September 2025, which is about 96.6% of the 362.5 of the entire 2024, improved performance and enhanced operations. Anani disclosed that during the period under review, the command intercepted firearms, including 1 pistol, 2 magazines, and 12 rounds of live ammunition. On our health news, the federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Education Trust Fund, has called on the media organizations and the practitioners of the country to join hands with it in protecting the rights of children. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Information and Orientation, emphasized that journalists played a vital role in shaping public understanding, influencing attitudes, and protecting the most vulnerable members of the society, particularly children, hence the collaboration with the media. Speaking at a 2-day training of media practitioners on ethical journalism and children's rights reporting on Monday in Ibadan, Oyo State, the Permanent Secretary of Orientation, Ogbodo Nam, of Ethical Reporting of Child Protection, Nam, represented by the Assistant Director, Head, Child Rights Information Bureau of the Ministry, Temitoye Falayi, said the training was designed to help in reflecting on. Suleiman explained that the outstanding payments are not limited to resident doctors, but affect all. 2022 said he dreams of helping the Albacete defend their title in North America. Has gifted the Super Falcons 50 million naira ahead of the second leg of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON 2026 qualifier against office at Okemasa Abeokuta when he received the team ahead of the in Abeokuta, the state's capital, for Tuesday. While receiving his guest, he noted that the second coming of the Super Falcons to the Moshood Abiola Sports Arena is a validation that the state is doing something right. The governor said that the Ogun State is poised to further develop the stadium environment with plans for a 4- or 5-star hotel, cinema, shopping center, among others. While congratulating the team for their historic 10th WAFCON title, Governor Abiodun noted that their remarkable victory in Morocco and all dominance of Nigeria in African women's football. On our entertainment news, Nigerian singer and senior special assistant to Abia State Governor on Tourism and Entertainment, Martins Ogechukwu Justice, popularly known as his car veered off the highway and plunged into a bush. The incident happened on Monday along Enugu-Aba Port Harcourt Expressway after reportedly suffering a brake failure. The impact of the brake failure forced the car off the expressway, heading it into the thick bush while it was in motion. Speaking